today I'm doing a practice where I'm going to be making art. And this is the practice where we do non-judgmental awareness. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 markers. And it's about just starting to do something, just pick up a color and start to draw. Now, this could be on any theme, don't overthink it. So basically, if you haven't yet, just pause the video and get a bunch of markers. And when you're ready to get started, you can start coloring. And so as soon as you begin coloring, you should start to feel that you're paying attention to a very small scale of information. There's not a lot going on right now in terms of the whole big world with lots of stuff. You're really just coloring a very short close-up, something right in front of your face. And just focus on that. Focus on the way that things are able to be very close up and safe. And look, it's very close up. You could see all of it almost, right? As it's happening in front of you. You might enjoy it very much, or you might feel like you need a little space, and then you could look away. And then come back. I want to make eye contact. Right? Now, the point about intuitive art is that you do not have to make anything specific. It's not necessary. It's about just flowing with it. And it's about how this is a practice of integration. And you don't know what you're doing until you're doing it. And that is how life is often going to feel. So if you want to make sense of the chaos all the time, that's great. But sometimes you just got to let it flow. It's a very high form of meditation, of refining our ability to pray, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with needing to learn how to do something better that doesn't seem to require any effort. There's nothing wrong with learning how to not make effort and how to just flow and how to let things be what they are. How to be part of it all without constantly trying to control it. How to witness things and forms and images arising into being and not needing to adjust it in any which way. And as it comes up, all we're choosing is when to choose a new color. When you're ready to choose a new color, you can. You can get to know different colors for as long as you're interested in getting to know them. And that's your choice because it is something that you get to experience directly as a right or not right moment, a right or not right feel. It's not going to be a logical decision, and that's okay. You get to choose when it's time to get a new color. Think about what that means. When it's time, you just know. You may not need a new color the whole time. On the other hand, you may need a new color very often, and that's okay again. And so as we each in our own way continue to watch art emerging from our hands without the attachment to the practice looking like something specific, as if that makes it more viable to extend, to live, to function, you might want to trust the emerging of everything that came before this moment, that gave this moment the ability to be what it is without you having to try. Can you lean on your past and all that you've done and the work and show up for a moment, permission. Fear can relax, creativity can emerge in openness, intuition. In a very accepting environment, yes, and of course, we're willing to learn, and then so much can happen, so much can be revealed, and we can even just watch it even come through us if we're ready, willing, and able to experience that change of how we thought we could express. And start finishing up this one. We're going to switch to a new paper with a different kind of vibe, maybe about a minute or so, something like that. And there should be a tiny pang of grief, like, will this one ever be done? Couldn't you always make it better in some way? And I'm sure the answer is almost always yes, but like, those are not mistakes. They're things that make it real. They're things that make it something that is in time and space. And switching to the next one now. Now we're going in a little deeper into the integration and finding a way to see that there's an artist in our lives and that everything can match up in such a way that as we're doing this, and we allow it to flow, we can kind of watch that there is a flow already. And sometimes the beauty that needs to emerge just needs us to stop blocking it. Like the creative intelligence that wants to speak through us and guide us in every moment is already here. And we do need to submit in a sense, which can be hard, like a yielding in such that we become the vessel of bringing infinite into finite. Can you create from that space something new? It's bubbling off of its original. To be able to be a creation that has a creator, and it was not always there from the beginning. Sometimes we can only do, like in recovery, there's a prayer for about how long it takes to pause, to see what angle to come from. God, give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And it's so important to recognize this as a lifestyle, because when you can pause and zoom in for even a little bit on something like this, everything in your life can get some breathing room, and you're going to see it in a new way, and you even realize it's happening. And that's what integration is supposed to accomplish. It's not supposed to be necessarily that you're meditating on the problem. Sometimes you just need to be going through an experience that allows for other stuff to happen in the background. And as this stuff happens in the background, the natural answers can come up that are always there. In a way, we take our attention off of the details. We come back to ourselves. And in coming back to ourselves, we can come back into our flow. And then inside of our flow, we can even arrive into something that is new to us. And then we're enjoying as the creator and the creation. We're the space where there's something new coming into being, and we could say we made it, but we really didn't. We're watching it being brought in, like the dancer with the dance, and the singer with the song, and the drummer with the beat, with the rhythm. pulse, all of the vibes, that are being carried by vessels that we bring in, and being able to carry, being a carrier, and having a code of which energy we're willing to carry and how it can come on to us. Whether we're willing to carry it, right? And so that's a big part of what art is all about. We can see what comes out of us when we let go of the guard. And we can start to look at areas with less fear and insecurity that before the maybes were there and we just didn't know if we would ever handle it. But now we're starting to realize that it's not so bad after all. Actually, we can, because, it's just new. It's just new. There's no room to make a mistake, to have to be perfect yet, because we're seeing in a new way. Just seeing a new way means we don't have to form a judgment yet. We can just be witnessing it first without automatically making assumptions and having expectations of it or labeling it right away. And sort of withholding, restraining just for a moment, just arriving into that it's not what we thought. Unpredictability, it's not so easy, obviously, but it is often the way through, because when we let go of the outcome, it can be better than we expected, and that's often not how we even want it anymore. Is a good indicator that we forgot what we were doing it for. We got distracted, and our purpose is away from what we're actually doing. And so in terms of arriving into the sense of purpose that we can let become the guiding light in our life, and in doing so receive much more pleasure and be able to see it in a bigger picture in a way that gives us much more strength, and borrow from higher versions of ourselves, really, in such a way that we know that when we merge with that version anyway, it would have more than enough to share. It's already happy, and so we can do whatever we need to do. The I can energy, we can do whatever we need to do moving forward, coming from this place. We can do it, because it's like totally possible for us, because we're in that frame of reference, and we're just naturally protected as an aura of creativity bouncing around us. We're naturally protected from any kind of destructive or negative or knocking down, repressive, oppressive, subjugating kind of energies. And just because it's gonna roll out degradations, humiliations, they're gonna just roll away from us. They're gonna go around us, over us, under, and we can just continue to enjoy that kind of focus that comes into being from a practice. As even though this is maybe unique to some, just to make art into intuitive art as a meditation practice without any specific thing you're trying to make. But if you're willing to do it and you're willing to receive the benefits, it's one of the highest forms. And you're welcome to keep your art. You're welcome to save it for another time if you need to. And you're also welcome to throw it away. There isn't a right way to be practicing new things. And I want to thank you for spending this time. And I will be probably recording one more video shortly, because tomorrow's a Friday with a sunset coming about before 5 p.m. So I'd like to probably not make the day any harder for me than it will be, and so I'm gonna probably record a video to save time so I could do other things if I want to. Okay, bye.